normie. Stay mad. You guys do the exact same shit. Like, Karage was like literal rocks. At that point, Op was like every single business hotel, whining like, ah man, my day off is completely ruined. Op gives up on everything after one single failure. You degenerates are infected with the law of small numbers disease too. I'm gonna talk about this today. You lads ever feel like your life is over after just one fuck up? That's just your brain glitching out. A totally brain-dead function running wild. Today I'm gonna expose this disease and show how our intuition plays us for absolute fools. Alright, before we get to the meat of it, let me break down the chapters for you. Chapter 1. The psychology of denying your entire existence after one single fuck-up. Chapter 2. That's a disease called the representativeness heuristic. Chapter 3. Before you ruin your life, jumping to conclusions. Oh, and some shameless self-promo. Chapter 4. Well, it's your life anyway, so do whatever the hell you want. We're doing this in 4 parts. Don't hit me with that too long, didn't read bullshit. It's more than 3 lines, but you better listen to the end. Let's jump right in. Chapter 1. The psychology of denying your entire existence after one single fuck-up. You lads have been there, right? You're on a trip, you walk into some random restaurant, and it's unbelievably trash. I did this just the other day. Wasted my precious day off, went way out of town, starved myself, and walked into this ramen joint. No rashimes. The owner is in the back scrolling on his phone, and the ramen soup tasted like hot water with a drop of soy sauce. The noodles were soggy as hell, and the chashu had the texture of an eraser. I took one bite and thought, fuck, is this a punishment game or something? So, still starving, I didn't even have the energy to search for another spot on my phone. I stumbled into a second place, a teishoku spot, but the rice was mushy, and the karage was like literal rocks. At that point, Op was like, every single food joint in this town is garbage. I'm a brain-dead moron for even coming here. I just fell into despair. In the end, I went to a konbini, the exact same one I have by my home station. Bought my usual onigiri and fried chicken, and ate it on a rock-hard bed in some business hotel, whining like, ah man, my day off is completely ruined. You there? What did you just say? Judging the whole town based on your tiny worldview? That's just your headcanon, isn't it? Oh, how arrogant are you? Source, just trust me, bro? It's your fault for being a clueless goober who didn't look up restaurants beforehand. What? Press X to doubt your contrarian take, you absolute normie. Stay mad. You guys do the exact same shit. Like say you talk to 2 girls, and they both cold shoulder you in a row. You immediately go, I'm disgusting anyway. All women are heartless. I'm gonna die alone. And you shiver under your blanket. I mean, your ugly mugs might actually be the problem, but let's put that aside for a sec. Same goes for stocks and gambling. You lose twice in a row by chance, and you get this statistically absurd, baseless fear that you're definitely gonna lose the next one. Or, flip side, you win a few times in a row. Go, I'm a genius. I'm gonna win forever, blow your entire life savings, and end up in a wipe your tears. Gross situation. You experience a handful of things, and you delusionally think it's the absolute truth of the universe. This is the trap we all fall into so damn easily. Alright, moving on. Chapter 2. That's a disease called the representativeness heuristic. Thinking that's a tongue twister, huh? Representativeness heuristic. Using big academic words makes me sound smart, right? Long story short, it's your brain's power-saving mode running wild, making you think my experience equals the world's truth. This is gonna be on the test, lads. In behavioral economics and psychology, this is called the law of small numbers. Some authoritative scholars made it an official law. But to put it simply, you've heard of the law of large numbers, right? If you roll a dice tens of thousands of times, the probability of any number popping up gets closer to 1/6. The bigger the sample, the more stable the probability gets. That's shit. But we humans just assume we can apply that law of large numbers to a tiny-ass sample of only 3 or 5 rolls. Just visualize it in your head for a sec, bro. Imagine we got two clear jars here, one big and one small. Let's label the big one large population and the small one small population. Let's say they're both filled 50-50 with red and blue stones. If you grab a huge handful of lighted stones from the big jar, you're gonna get around 50 red and 50 blue. Because with a large population, probabilities stabilize. But try taking just 3 stones out of the small jar. Getting 3 red stones is totally possible, right? With a small population, the probability gets crazy unstable. And yet, there are degenerates who look at those 3 red stones and go, "Whoa, the whole jar is full of red stones," acting all shocked with a red face. That's us. We perceive random events as a rule and overestimate how representative the data is. It's a situation where you want to say laughing my ass off, sample size is way too small, but we get dragged down by our intuition and experiences and just jump to a biased conclusion. Humans only see what they want to see. Out of random events, we ignore chance variations and force ourselves to find patterns and rules. Your brain is just being lazy and trying to take a shortcut. That's the mechanism behind the law of small numbers. It might go against your intuition, but this is reality, lab. Thinking you've achieved enlightenment after one single success or failure just makes you a brain-dead moron. All right, let's keep it moving. Chapter 3. Before you ruin your life jumping to conclusions. Oh, and some shameless self-promo. So far, it's just been about our pathetic daily lives, but this shit happens normally at work too. For example, let's say you're doing sales, trying to get new clients, and a handful of pitches go wrong. You got the appointments pitched them, but they just didn't bite. Then you instantly assume, it's useless to approach this area, or this demographic just doesn't have any demand, and you just pull the plug on market research way too early. When you report to your boss, you're like, boss, I visited 3 places and got wiped out, 28-3. This product won't sell here, acting all smug and know-it-all. And the boss is just like, I see, let's retreat like you said, and approves it just like that. Hey, sample size is way too small for both of you. Truth is, you might have just had bad luck, and if you visited one more spot, you might have hit the jackpot. Just because of that short-sighted decision to call it a dead game after a few failures, you let a massive opportunity slip through your fingers. It's the exact same when your department gets one single successful case on a new project, and you go, all right, this is going to be a company-wide success, and dump a ton of money into it, only to bomb spectacular. Premature celebration. You put too much trust in one single success and treat it as the rule for a massive population. Numbers don't lie, but liars use numbers, bro. You rush to a conclusion without giving a single fuck if the sample size is statistically sufficient, and you blow yourself up. That's the terror of the law of small numbers. Though, instead of rushing to conclusions before making a call, you gotta stop for a sec and look at it from a probability standpoint to see if the result makes sense against the law of large numbers. You can't just rely on your own experience or intuition. You gotta check out broad data from third parties and objective statistics. Clueless goobers who don't know this are just gonna get exploited, seriously. And here comes the most important part. With that same finger you use to instantly label things a dead game after a few failures, hit the subscribe button on this channel for me, chat. Smash that like button. Treat it as an education for op-ed. The number of you who subscribe and comment, that's my precious data sample. So I don't get told laughing my ass off. Sample size is way too small. You degenerates gotta click away and make my population size huge. Otherwise, op might fall into the law of small numbers trap. Jump to the conclusion like, nobody's watching this channel. It's dead. I can't do this shit anymore, and just retire. Your support is my only truth. Shameless self-promo, but I'm begging you, fam. All right, lastly, Chapter 4. Well, it's your life anyway, so do whatever the hell you want. I've been talking high and mighty all this time, but the bottom line is, it's your life. Live it however you want. Statistically speaking, the world is just a margin of error. It's easy to say increase your sample size, but but actually going out there and collecting data is exhausting as hell. I get wanting to deny everything after one failure, and sometimes you just want to go too long. Didn't read because thinking is too much of a pain in the ass. If you go through life constantly obsessing over the law of large numbers and the representativeness heuristic, you're gonna lose your damn mind anyway. You there, you're asking, so what the fuck am I supposed to do then? I'm saying, instead of jumping to conclusions and getting depressed, not forcing yourself to think and just sleeping it off is the most absolute unit move. You gotta separate what you can change from what you can't. Just realizing you're being played by the law of small numbers means you scored a perfect 100 today. Don't ask for more than that. Talking about this shit is starting to make me feel like an idiot too. You degenerates are probably just rolling around in bed with your phones in one hand, half listening to my rant anyway. Laughing my ass off, he's seething. This thread is so dead. No momentum at all. Is this topic a dead game already? Well, ain't my problem anyway. Oh, right. Let me just drop a preview for tomorrow. Next time, I'm gonna explain the holographic principle. It's some universe-level complicated shit, but I'll dumb it down so even we can understand it, so look forward to it. Well, you're probably gonna forget everything we talked about today by tomorrow anyway. I gotta get up early tomorrow, so I'm going to sleep. Alright, thread dismissed.